Hey guys, Cass here. As you guys may be able to tell by the title of this video or the caption if you're reading it on Tumblr, this is not going to be a happy video. I'm sorry if you are triggered by mentions of depression and suicide or mental illness, really. I would recommend not watching this video. It's a video I've been meaning to make for a while now, talking about my issues and kind of just talking about what some of this stuff means to me. But unfortunately, what spurred me into motion was a tragedy that happened recently. There are some of you out there who may know, or who may watch Markiplier or Syndigo. Those of you who do may know that Daniel from Syndigo, Daniel Kyre, passed away on Friday, sadly. He was found Wednesday. Unfortunately, he passed away due to an attempted suicide. And it's difficult. It's difficult for me, as somebody who has never met the man, who only knows him through his work, so I can only... Actually, in all honesty, I can't even begin to imagine how difficult it is for Mark and Ryan and Matt and Daniel's family, and it's a difficult thing to process, because you do sit there and think, well, could I have done something differently? Is this my fault? I should have been there. I should have done something. I should have done more. But that's not always the case. Yes, I will say there are cases where the people around you can contribute, but in most cases, it has nothing to do with the people around you. It doesn't even necessarily have to do with any social circumstances, because I've heard a lot of people say, you know what, well, you're white, you come from a middle-class family, you had a good upbringing, what do you have to be depressed about? But that's not how depression works, and people don't seem to understand that. You could be at a very, very great place in your life, and it seems to me, and this is from an outsider's perspective, that Daniel was at a good place in his life. Syndigo and Mark were doing all of these cool collabs, and they were living together, and it seemed to me that he may have been in a very good place in his life. But that doesn't stop the little demons in your head, unfortunately. I've been at really great places in my life before, but that didn't stop the little voices, that doesn't sound particularly right, but the little demons in my head nagging me and saying, why are you happy? You don't deserve to be happy. Why are you still alive? You don't deserve that. Everybody in your life deserves better than you. And unfortunately, that's something way too many people face every day. And people don't seem to understand the significance of, talking about mental health, about talking about issues, because it can help. Whoa, okay, I'm sorry. My head just kind of spaced out. Mental health is really important. In my eyes, it's just as important as physical health. Because I could be in perfect physical health, but feel emotionally crappy, and that's when I don't feel like I should live anymore. And a lot of people say that the cause of death for those who are suicidal is suicide. And in honesty, my eyes, that's more of a symptom than it is the actual cause of death. Depression or any other mental illness that you are struggling with that kind of caused you, or that caused that person to feel like they had to do what they had to do, that is the cause of death in my eyes. I'm sorry, guys, I'm rambling. This is just a very sensitive topic for me, but it is something that I more recently have started talking about because I feel it needs to be talked about. And there's so much stigma around mental health, and people would be saying it's all in your head. And yes, it is in my head. But that doesn't make it any less of an illness than any other illness. Heart cancer is just in your heart. It's just little things that really bother me about people who talk about mental health who don't necessarily know anything about it, but feel the need to judge those who do have mental health issues. And I can't talk for everybody who has issues. This is my personal experience. I have had times where I didn't feel like anybody would be upset if I was gone. Or not even necessarily be upset, but I feel like everybody would have been better off if I was gone. And there are still days where I feel that. I'm lucky enough to have my support system in place to kind of pull me out of that. But that doesn't change the fact that there are days when I feel that. And I know the only reason that I haven't done it yet is because, to be completely honest, I'm scared of pain. And that was my biggest thing. I'm scared of death. I'm scared of pain. So that's one of the only reasons I'm alive still. And it's a scary thought when you think about it. It really is a terrifying thought. But it's just, it is what it is, unfortunately. And it is something that needs to be talked about. We need to talk about how people are feeling. We need to tell people it's okay to talk about how you're feeling. It's okay to talk about your mental health issues. It's good to talk about them because then it's easier to get help for said mental health issues. Sorry, I'm sniffly now. It's allergy season. I think the main point of this video is it's difficult. It can be really difficult to live with something like depression or bipolar or borderline personality disorder. All of those things, it is hard to live with. And I can't fault anyone who doesn't want to live with it anymore. Sometimes the people who seem the happiest are the ones who need the help the most. But they will shut themselves away and not show that they need help. And there is nothing you guys can do about that. I don't want anybody to blame themselves for something like that because it is not their fault. Sometimes it's just hard to talk. It's hard to talk about emotions. It's hard to talk about feelings. And when you have the issues sitting there and telling you that you're not worth it, it makes it even more difficult to talk to people about it. So, basically, I just want to say that my heart goes out to Mark and Matt and Ryan and Daniel's family and all of his friends. And honestly, anybody who is mourning him, because you didn't have to know him personally to feel the incredible loss of a man like that. So, rest in peace, Daniel, and I hope that with time, everybody will heal to the best of their ability. If you guys have any, things you want to discuss, or if you ever need to rant, I'm not the best with advice, but if you guys ever need someone to talk to, I am here. And I hope you all know that. I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.